Sussex made it 2 wins out of 2 from the games they've completed in this season's Friends Life T20 competition, while Middlesex slipped to a 4th defeat in 5 games as again they failed to chase down a challenging total, losing by 21 runs at the Probiz County Ground. Neil Dexter's remarkable run of losing the toss continued, and yet again he found his side in the field first. What's more, he saw his bowlers being hit to all parts by Luke Wright and Chris Nash, who got Sussex off to an ideal start, with 34 runs coming off the opening 4 overs in the power play. On what looked like a belter of a batting wicket, even decent deliveries such as this one from Gareth Berg were hit into the distance, this shot from Nash bringing a good crowd their first 6 of the night. But 2 runs later, Nash perished as another attempted big hit flew instead to Josh Davey at mid-off. That brought to an end an opening partnership of 40 made in the first 27 balls, but Wright kept on going, ensuring that Ollie Rayner's return to Hove did not go just as he had planned. These two sides had met at Lord's last week, a game won by Sussex. Indeed, that was the only match they've managed to complete in this unseasonable June. Matt Machin knew the importance of winning this game to keep them in touch with the leaders in the group of champions. The left-hander made a run of ball 22 as the Panthers momentarily kept a lid on the hitting. Murray Goodwin then came in to try to push the rate on, bringing up the 100 in the 14th over. Wright reached a splendid 50 off just 36 balls, and then he eased Dexter over the long-on boundary for his second maximum. His innings was now key. With boundaries not that easy to find, he had to run freely, these being a couple of only 7-4s in his fantastic knock. There are a few better openers in the domestic T20 competition. He and Goodwin took the total to 146 in the penultimate over before the latter hit Berg to Davey to depart for 18 with 7 balls of the innings left. So it was time for a thrash, and Scott Styris supplied the 4th 6 of the innings off the outside edge. Wright just hadn't quite got enough gas in the tank to reach 3 figures, but he helped take 14 off the final over bowled by Stephen Crook. Wright was out to the last ball of the innings for a brilliant 91 as he drilled Crook to Dexter in the covers. His runs had come off just 61 deliveries, and it helped his side to 161 for 4 from their 20 overs. Middlesex made a change to their top order, bringing John Simpson to open with Joe Denley, who was looking to make an impression after an indifferent start to his T20 season in pink. The Panthers had lost 3 of their first 4 matches in this summer's competition, but with so much rain about, they were by no means out of the running for a quarter-final place. This pair gave them their best start so far this year as they put on 62 in the first 9.5 overs to set up this contest nicely. Denley had made 36 from 34 when he found Joe Gatting in the deep off Will Beer, but Simpson kept going here, pulling Michael Yardy for a maximum. The target was brought down to 91 needed off the last 9.5 overs, and the Panthers could ill afford to lose the well-set Simpson. But this time he failed to connect properly and gave Gatting another catch to go for 32. Having batted so well on the previous night at Lord's, Stephen Crook had been brought up the order to number 3, and he kept his side interested by sweeping Beer over the ropes. But having made 19 off 14 balls, he was bowled by Yardy's medium pacer. So now 61 were needed off the final 6 overs, but then Adam Rossington picked out Machin off Styrish, and the Sharks were well on top. Dexter was out in the 16th over, another to find the Hove ground too big, and his team now were left with 51 to win off only 4 overs. Darvin Milan gave it a go, but he could only hit 1-4 in his 25, and he gave last week's hero Chris Liddle his only wicket on this occasion, slogging to Nash at mid-wicket. Rayner had taken his side so close on the previous night against Essex, but he didn't have time to do much here, as Middlesex in the end fell well short of their target. They ended on 140 for 6 to lose by 21 runs, a defeat which may effectively now end their interest in this season's competition. As for the Sharks, well, they now meet Essex on the south coast on Sunday, sitting on top of the South Group with their next opponents. That will now be an important game for them.